What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, well, we have an update to the market fee pre-proposal that failed, and I got to give a shout out here to Crypto Eater for sticking with it. Went through and addressed some of the feedback, gave reasons why they wanted to address certain things and maybe not others, and we'll jump into that in a second. But to me, this is kind of how the proposal process should go. I mean, obviously, you got to burn a good amount of DEC in order to get these things going. But if it's a good idea and you have people who will back you up, usually you can crowdfund these things together. But more importantly, it's just bringing something to the community, and if the community doesn't like it, working with them, having positive dialogue or constructive dialogue, and then coming back. And so far, it looks as though this thing, as it stands, is passing in the pre-proposal process. So you can see here, this is a new iteration. Since it failed by a narrow margin, I have decided to try again and update a couple of the most contentious parts. So removed the listing UI fee components, and now 2% is burned instead of going to the DAO. However, I decided to leave the fee at 6%, which was the third most contentious issue. I believe this is a fair trade-off for users and markets without impacting the status quo too much. So let's see here. The proposal is to set the market fee to a fixed 6% for all markets, such as cards, rentals, assets, lands, and potentially SPS delegation markets in the future. A 2% portion of the market fees will get burned, and the remaining 4% will go to market used to purchase the asset. So major impacts, this increases the fees from 5% to 6%. Sometimes people were able to even have lower fees depending on what you use. And you can see here at the bottom on number 5, fixed fee means bots can no longer list at a 1% fee. All market users must list at 6%. Going back here to number 2, potentially less cashback for buyers depending on how third-party markets handle this change. Decrease in third-party market revenue from 5% to 4%. Decrease of circulating DEC. So the benefits, we're going to burn more DEC. We're going to decrease the amount of DEC in supply. This is kind of the same thing that the Crypto Eater had before. So like less DEC in circulation, closer to peg, closer to flywheel. All that stuff is good. I don't think it really matters until we get back into a bull run, but we do want to burn as much DEC, so I can understand the argument. And then finally here, listing fee under the standard rate 6% is no longer accepted. For example, bot sellers will no longer be able to list at 1%. So none of this is really changed outside in terms of like from a high level. It's still 6%. It is being burned now instead of going to the DAO, and then of course removing the listing UI fee component. So potential drawbacks: a general decrease of funding going to market interfaces, including funds to the Splinterlands company. Sellers will see the normal rates go up from 5 to 6%, and then reduction of kickback to those who buy on sites that have cash back. So this is all, I think, a copy and paste from the last thing where he had talked to Yaba Matt. And ultimately, that's kind of where things are at. So I'm curious to know, for those of you that voted against it, do these two changes, removing the listing UI fee component and then 2% not going to the DAO, but instead being burned, do those change how you feel? Because at least at this point, it looks as though let's go over here to Peak Monsters. It looks as though this thing is passing at 90.89%. And yes, I did vote for it in the pre-proposal stage. Again, to me, I want to see these things go to the main proposals in order for there to be a broader conversation about it. I'd actually love to hear Matt's take on it or Aggie's take on it, depending on how they might view something like this. But keep in mind also that the pre-proposal proposal changed. So, or passed, I shouldn't say changed, has passed now. So this whole thing is going to change, and it's going to be, as long as I think like 5% of all stakers vote for it, it's automatically going to get put into that. So hopefully that'll streamline the process a little bit and not have it be so weird that we're like voting twice. But ultimately just wanted to share this with you guys where to me, the main change is burning more DEC. I know people are not a fan of fees. I am not one as well. I can understand 1% compounding over time can be huge. And you can see that there's, a lot of feedback here from folks not wanting fees. But you do see a lot of the larger stakeholders now agreeing. Those who disagreed and voted against last time are taking this into account and voting for it. And so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is this something you are for or against? What are your fears if they are not listed out here? Do you see any other drawbacks? We have a couple more days while this is in pre-proposal, and then of course we'll have the actual proposal to discuss it further. But I do want to get your thoughts on this, as like I said, I was traveling and just getting caught up on a couple things, because this has actually been out for a couple of days now after the last one failed. So that is all I have in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.